Hello, this is Patrick. Another update, quick one again. Welcome to Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. I just want to keep you guys and girls up to date on our positions and my thoughts here. And let's just take a look real quick here at the S&P 500. And again, I'm not making a call on the overall market, although I have been bearish the last couple of weeks. And because of the big negative divergence. I said on the last call, I'd like to see us get down to our 30 level on the relative strength index uh, tool, and we're close. Sometimes you don't always get what you want. I think that was a song at one time. We also, our moving averages haven't converged yet. Something else I mentioned, I'd like to see our rainbow convergence here, a la Tom McClellan, who I think coined that phrase and talked about these convergent moving average convergences. So want to recognize Tom for his work on that. So, we could be a day or so away, but we're really, really close here to a low. And this is just a short-term low. I'm not making a long-term projection here. I'm actually pretty bearish longer term on the market. But when there's a buying opportunity, I want to be there. So, and I want to look at each security on its individual basis. Uh, Sometimes securities can buck the trend, and today was a good example. The U.S. Cannabis ETF MSOS ended up on the day, showing good relative strength. China was up today, showing good relative strength. Copper was up, showing good relative strength. So that's my thoughts. As an overall market, we're really close to a low here. We'll leave it at that. So let's take a look at MSOS. We had a big down week last week, but we're still holding our bullish trend line. We still have our triangle breakout that's given us a $13 price projection. I think that's still intact. We came right down to our stop level and prices bounced. So let's take a closer look at this. I just wanted to give you a visual on the intermediate term. I also want to point out that, the upside could be greater. We're just using 13 based on our pattern. And so that's my first objective, is to get to 13. So let's take a closer look here. So here's the triangle. Here's our upside price projection to 13. But more importantly, yesterday, or actually a few days ago, I said I wouldn't come as a surprise to test the support in our bullish channel support line down here. But you can see today, intraday, it broke our stop level, but it was able to close above it, and it formed a doji bullish hammer. Boy, that's a mouthful. But it's a bullish reversal pattern. So now it's got to hold that. And again, there's no guarantees, but that's where we're at. So maintaining our position on MSOS, the U.S. Cannabis ETF. Take a quick look at China. This is a big picture on China. I want to point these things out because, while my price projections on some of these patterns are 20% up or 30% up, it could be greater. And here's a prime example. We're right on a multi-year. I think I said 28 yesterday, but I believe it's an 18-year consolidation. And we are right on support, and it easily, from a long-term perspective, could go up to 42.50, which would be a huge move, and even beyond. But first things first, so let's take a closer look. This is a Shanghai index. We're going to look at the ETF on a short-term basis, FXI, the China large cap ETF. And here's our bullish inverse head and shoulders pattern, which gave us a 27.5 price projection. And I thought we were forming a triangle a couple days ago. Hopefully we still are, because we're on support line there. and but prices were up today. They were showing some strength, and I just saw China's economy grew 5.3% in the first quarter, beating expectations, even though the Shanghai is down a little bit after that report. But it just shows that maybe things are accelerating there. Maybe people have been too bearish on China. And I like when people are bearish, and I like to go against the grain, and I like being a contrarian investor against real bullish sentiment or real bearish sentiment. So China, it's pretty bearish. Our stop is our original stop. It's been down here, so we got some room. I'm hoping we don't have to go there. And so China is fine. It's intact. Everything looks great. Everything looks fine. Let's not jinx ourselves. And let's go to copper. So here's copper, the ETF CPER. And you know, the original triangle, a big triangle pattern. This is one, I don't know, 1.5 years in development. A, B, C, D, E, breakout, price projection 32. Of course, nothing goes in a straight line. Do not buy this now, please. You know, if anything, I'd be shedding a few shares, but because we're starting to get up to overbought levels. But anyway, this chart looks great. When I can, I will move up the stop maybe to this low here at about 24.75, but let's give it another day here. And copper looks great. It was up today. Oops. Bitcoin. This is a Bitcoin ETF. So this broke support today. Here's a triangle. Here was the original stop. It broke support intraday. It wasn't able to quite close above. It was I think about 1% below the stop level. I am still recommending a buy signal on this. I would not want to see it break today's low, but we have a bullish hammer here where prices open the week at the top. I'm sorry, this is a 2 hour chart. I'm sorry. My apologies. Each one of these candles represents 2 hours, but in those 2 hours, it opened here. It it broke support. People sold into that, and by the end of the 2 hours, by the end of the market, it was up near the high of the 2 hour period, forming a small bullish hammer. Now, this isn't as relevant as on the MSOS, the U.S. cannabis chart, because that was a daily chart. This is only a 2 hour chart. But I'm going to stay with this. We're getting oversold here. I'm going to stay with this. I wouldn't be surprised if when the market rallies, and we're hoping it does in the next couple of days, short term, you would see riskier assets come back in vogue, and something like Bitcoin might be a beneficiary. Just uh, reading into that, which is never a good idea. But just looking at this chart, I'm not going to sell it because it broke by 1%, broke its stop. But I definitely don't want to see it break much lower than the lows today. Oops, what happened? Oh, oh, sorry about this. So again, we got a lot of upside on this on Bitcoin. I wanted to show that. Somehow we skipped over utilities. So let's go to utilities. Utilities still holding on here. Hasn't been the greatest timing, but still the reward to risk is very favorable. Again, uh, it showed relative strength versus the market. It was down less than the market. I did talk about a week or so ago that it wouldn't surprise me to see it test our rainbow convergence here, our bullish rainbow convergence. So it's got to hold. It's still above our stop. It's still intact. This is XLU, the utilities ETF. And here's Southern Company. Southern Company. It's basically identical. Again, it outperformed the broader market, and our stop is still intact. And there's a lot of potential upside here. So I'm really kind of pounding the table here. I'm saying, you know what? If you liked it a little bit higher, I'd be adding to these positions. And thank you for watching Chart Built Wealth, Profitable Investing with Technical Analysis. I hope you found this helpful. Please like and subscribe. I need all your help on that. Thanks and have a great evening. Good trading tomorrow.